In this video, I will share with you 12 things that a man needs to feel to fall in love with you. Hello, my name is Greta Bereisaite. I'm a dating and relationship coach for women. For the awesome high-value women secrets, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified when I upload new videos. If you like my merch, chase goals, no drama, you can get it in my YouTube store. In no particular order, the thing number one is admiration. Now, what do I mean by admiration? A lot of ladies get it so wrong. I actually remember one of my friends, she was in a relationship and the guy was really taking her for granted. It was really bad because she was behaving really low value. And if you want to know what is a woman of low value, check out my video right here. But she was like really behaving not good, and he really took her for granted. And then out of the blue, she reads this book, and she reads somewhere that she needs to admire him and treat him like a king, and she started to do that, and it became absurd. It became really bad. He was taking her for granted. He was walking all over her, and she was cooking him 3-course meals, telling him how amazing he is, how he is the best DJ. She was buying the nicest lingerie for him. Like, she was just really going out of her way, like worshiping him like a king. Ladies, if you're going to behave this way, this is how you're gonna lose a guy. So he does not need that. By admiration, I mean like complimenting him on things that you do not have. So perhaps on his manly strength, like for example, maybe he lifts you up and you're like, wow, you're so strong. Maybe he opens the jar for you that you cannot open. Maybe you ask him for an advice that you really need and he gives you a solution, and you thank him and tell him how smart he is, helpful it was. If he has been the most amazing boyfriend and at the same time focusing on his goals and dreams and sharing them with you, be happy for him, tell him that you're proud of him, support him in his ventures. That's basically a simple, humble, human way how to give a man admiration without worshiping him as a king and actually losing him in the process. Number two, of course, after admiration comes appreciation. So with appreciation is, some men love appreciation, some men are not into that so much. So you can test it. So for example, if he does really regular gent things, like, you know, like he lets you out through the door first, he opens the car doors for you, you're at the restaurant, he is the one opening the wine bottle, he is the one pouring the glass of wine for you first because you're a lady, right? So just noticing these things and saying thank you is more than you need to do. Ladies, the more you say thank you for the little things, the more things he will do for you, and usually those things will actually get bigger because he'll see the appreciation for the little ones. Saying that, in some cultures, saying thank you for every single thing can get annoying to a person. Some men, they are so used to doing things for the lady and giving, it becomes like natural for them. So if you're going to be saying thank you for every little thing that he does for you, it might get a bit annoying for him. So if this is the case, you will sense it from him that he's getting a bit too annoyed from your thankfulness. So what you can do, you can replace sometimes a thank you with a smile, or being in a good mood, or giving a little bit back. The third thing that a man needs to feel to fall in love with you is to feel manly, that he can be a man with you. Every man wants to feel like a man with a lady. Every lady feels lovely with a man when she feels feminine with him. You know, we actually, I think as women, we actually really enjoy our femininity when we are with a guy, because that's when we kind of stand out. A guy opens the car doors for you, and he takes that bill, then he carries the heavy water. As a woman, You feel really good, you feel feminine. When a man makes, let's say, the pursuing moves on you, you feel flirtatious and you feel feminine. So for a man, he feels good when he has that ability to pursue you, when he has that ability to pick up the phone and call you first, when he has that ability to text you first and ask you on that date. When you have a problem and you ask him to solve that problem for you, he will feel manly and he will feel good. And he feels good when he is with you. This is when he will want to see more of you. The fourth thing that men need to feel to fall in love with you is a bit of uncertainty. So how does that work, right? Uncertainty that he still needs to come after you and conquer you. Certainty in a way that you are still his goal. They need to feel a bit of uncertainty. I don't mean like you ignoring his phone calls or not texting back or playing hard to get. That's not what I mean. I mean uncertainty in a way of fulfilling his love needs. Men have different love needs from women because men have testosterone. Women have some testosterone levels, but much less than men do. So a man's love needs are nearly opposite as a woman's love needs. Like our biggest love need is safety and security. A man's biggest love need is goals, fun, adrenaline rush, lightheartedness, a bit of uncertainty. In order for him to feel his love for you, he does need to feel that. And how does he get to feel that? When you're not always available, when he doesn't see you every day, when he cannot read you as an open book. You're not focusing on the man and worshiping him. You're focusing on the path that God has for you. This is when he will feel healthy levels of uncertainty and will stay interested in you. If you want to know more about the differences about men and women, check out my playlist right here. The next thing, the fifth thing that he needs to feel to fall in love with you is safety. I know you're all going like, what? Greta, you just told us about uncertainty, now you're telling us about safety. How does this make sense? By safety, I mean he needs to feel safe to be himself with you. He needs to feel like he can talk to you freely and you're not gonna be judgmental of him. When you take a more positive approach with a guy and instead of, let's say, judging him about his past or telling him off or nagging or complaining, instead you find the positive things in, let's say, his mistakes in life. You make mistakes, you learn from them, you grow from it. And he feels like you're not going to judge him. This is when he'll start to be more open with you and will feel safe to share his thoughts, secrets, and perhaps future plans with you. The sixth thing that men need to feel to fall in love with you is trust. And this is a very big deal, and I think I mention it nearly in my every single video. So ladies, as I always say, if you are with a man, the only way to have a happy relationship is to trust him. You don't need to go around telling him how much you trust him. You need to show it to him. And you show it to him by not checking in where he is at, like where are you, who you with, why you didn't text me today, why you didn't call me today, who was that friend, who is this girl, how do you know her, did you chat with any girls when you went out with your friends, checking his phone, checking his laptop, stalking him, sniffing his collar, you know. It's like all of these signs are that you don't trust the guy. You're behaving like a crazy girlfriend and you are still with him. It does not make sense because it makes you look sad and desperate. Why? Because you're with a person that you're stalking his every single move, but you don't have enough of courage to let him go. So it makes you come across as a woman without self-respect being with somebody that you don't trust. So by not trusting him, you're actually undervaluing yourself. At the same time, you are not making him feel good, because he will start to feel like you think that he is worse than he actually is. Ladies, nobody likes to feel put down and undervalued in a relationship. If you keep making him feel this way, instead of his feelings growing for you, soon they're going to be disappearing for you. Number 7 that a man needs to feel to fall in love with you is freedom. He needs to feel free. If he will start to feel like he is a caged bird, he will want to get out of his cage and fly off and leave the cage behind and never come back, right? Who wants to come back into the cage? So if instead of showing him that you trust him, you are controlling him and trying to tame him and put him in a cage, you'll do everything to escape from that cage. But if you don't control him, you trust him and you let him be free, if he has true feelings for you, he will always be coming back to you. Number 8 that a man needs to feel to fall in love with you is that you got his back. I have seen so many scenarios where a guy saw a girl as his future wife, but he was really wary to ask her to marry him, especially if he was the one like taking her out, paying for the dinners, kind of like giving a lot, right? So let's say he falls in love with her, he wants to marry her, but he's a bit wary. Then a guy would have a conversation with the girl, would you be with me if I wouldn't have the money or if I lost everything? And the girl says, well, of course, if we married, I'll have your back, you know, I'll get a job, or like if I'm working and something bad happens to you, I will take over, I will be there for you until you get on your feet. This is when a guy would get that security to actually propose to her. This is exactly what I mean, that you need to have his back. So I don't always mean about money. You can have his back in many situations. Maybe, for example, somebody's talking bad about him and you can stand up for him. Don't talk bad about your boyfriend or the husband yourself. You're with him. It doesn't even make sense to gossip about him. Some girls do that to their friends. Don't do it. Long term, it will really backfire, and the guy will feel like you stabbed him in the back instead of supporting him as your boyfriend or a husband. Number 9 that a guy needs to feel to fall in love with you is respect. He needs to feel like you respect him and like you respect yourself. No man will love a woman that does not respect herself. No man will stay with a woman who does not show respect for him. Interesting thing is, if you don't respect yourself, you're not gonna be respecting others also. Now, how do you show a man respect? You know, don't go emotionally crazy on him. Trust him. Keep your word. Be a lady of your word. Same as we love a man who is a man of his word. Be a lady of your word. Don't cancel the dates. Show respect for his time. Show up on time. Of course, if he is the one who is always being late, well, perhaps you need to set in some boundaries, but otherwise do the right thing. Watch your words, watch your language, don't have a filthy mouth. If you're with a guy or even without a guy, don't be easy with other man, because if you're with a guy and you're disrespecting yourself, you're disrespecting your body, he is your boyfriend. At the same time, you're disrespecting him. Number 10 that a man needs to feel to love you is for you to have value in yourself, for him to see value in you. When a man sees value in you, this is when he'll start to give you more. This is when he will start to invest in you. This is when he'll start to pursue you. This is when he'll start to make the moves towards introducing you to family and friends, towards the future together. When a man does not see value in you, he won't do the things that I just mentioned. How to be valuable to a man. I have an amazing video that I would recommend you to watch, which you can find just by following the link right here. Number 11 that a man needs to feel to fall in love with you is the truth. As hard that it can be to tell somebody, or as hard as it is to hear, everyone will always respect and value you for the truth. So maybe hearing the truth or standing up for the truth will make the other person furious or upset for a short time. However, long term, the truth always wins, because when emotions calm down, the logic takes over, and that is when the truth wins. So stand up for the truth. Even if you will feel in some situations it means that going against his word, or disagreeing with him, or setting in a boundary because he's maybe trying to manipulate you or walk all over you, or he's checking can he use you, and you're setting in a boundary, you're standing up for the truth. Stand up for the truth the full way. Don't let go of the truth in order to please him. He might get grumpy at that second that you're not submitting to him and you're standing up for the truth. However, long term, and he has his tantrum and his emotions calm down, he will only have respect for you. Him knowing that you're a girl who is honest and who stands up for the truth, long term will make him respect, trust, and honor you. And here comes the last one, but it's definitely not the least one, and it's number 12. It needs to make sense logically. Ladies, a lot of times we meet a guy that we are very attracted to. There is lots of chemistry. It seems like you are on the same page. It seems like you have lots of things in common, but there are lots of outside influences that are not letting for this, let's say, love to escalate. So what I would say, it needs to make sense logically. Men are logical. If he loves you, he will look long term. Happy relationship is not just about you and him. Usually into a relationship comes many people, such as his brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, a mother, a dad. There are a lot of people that can come potentially into this relationship. What I'm saying is logically it needs to make sense. If you're in a culture where, let's say, you need to live with him and his siblings, or with him and his parents, and you don't get on with his parents, or you don't get on with his siblings, or maybe you both really match but your cultures clash, logically thinking long term, this relationship could potentially bring more sorrow than happiness. I'll share a story with you. I remember this lady, she was I think she was Muslim, and I think her husband was Muslim as well. Okay, so it was not cultural differences that much, but his mom never wanted him to marry her. However, we both really loved each other, and we ended up marrying. The lady got pregnant. She has a beautiful daughter. But what ended up happening, she had to live with him and his mother. His mother could not stand her, and she did everything to break their relationship. Her husband didn't know what to do because he was taking sides of his mother, he was taking sides of her, he was constantly in between. The whole family environment became very toxic and nasty. After a while, the lady got cancer. Thanks God, she ended up surviving the cancer. But as soon as she survived the cancer, she ended up divorcing her husband and leaving the family. So my point is, when it says love wins everything, yes, love wins everything, but when choosing the right person for you, it's not just about you and him. And to sustain it healthy and stable through goods and bads, be great for you to have the outside support of your family members, rather than these outside people being happy that finally your relationship is crashing, which means that potentially you will divorce each other. So ladies, these were my 12 things that a man needs to feel to fall in love with you. If you liked this video, please press like. Let me know in the comments below what did you think. One-on-one coaching with me or a member of my team, or joining my incredible VIPs, book it through my website, which is called Bereisaite.com. And if you would like to know how to stay attractive via text, games men play on women, how to control your emotions, how to get your ex back, how to love yourself, or maybe perhaps you have a little hobby that you would like to make into an online business, I have all of these packages for sale on my website called Greta.com, and I will put the links how to get them in my video description box below and as a pinned comment under this video. Thank you for watching, my queens. Kisses from Sunny Dorset. Mwah.